We have a new world patch and they're back, and I'm talking about Instance Wars. So let's have a look what else is in the patch notes and we'll just talk about my thoughts in general at the moment. As you can see, it's weekly patch time, and this patch is coming at 11 PM tonight if you're in Pacific time. It's actually going to be first thing tomorrow morning if you're in EU. And you can see right there, it's the return of Instance Wars. For those of you wondering what the hell I'm talking about like that, wars were not on an instance, they were in the world, and now they're going to be on a separate instance. Very similar, I think, to Outpost Rush. I don't necessarily know the technology behind it, but when they first implemented this, it was causing problems. Hopefully now they've ironed out those kinks and it's actually going to work flawlessly. We'll go through every update though, because why the hell not? We're in the audio section here and we've got sound effects. Fixed an issue that caused some sound effects to not trigger for various character actions. I mean, I generally play with the audio off. People are always like, Jay, you play with the audio off? I'm like, yes, I play with the audio off. I just listen to music, watch videos and stuff like that. So, you know, I do apologize. The audio is great and I know I'm missing out a little bit, but that's just the way that I play. So I've never really experienced that. Sure, it's nice to be fixed, obviously. By the way, the Summer Medley Fair ends today, so spend your tokens. If it's not already ended, it'll end probably at this patch. And this one says, fixed an issue that caused the Medley Fair performance music Windward Inn and path less travelled to not play. Okay, fair enough. For the Guardian of Genesis, they have adjusted collision to prevent players from entering unintended areas in the Alluvium Mile boss fight. That's the caretaker, basically, who I think, I'm going to call him the frog boss, because that's how I imagine him, but think of him however you will. Not sure what areas they're talking about. Obviously, it's supposed to sort of like get walled in so you're stuck in and out and stuff like that. Obviously, I don't know if that's been happening. We'll have to, I've never tried to exploit that in any way, so maybe you have, maybe it's fixed now. And then there's some important stuff in this next section, the world experience ones. Notable fixes. Wars will automatically be rescheduled if there's an issue with the invite phase and the invites do not get sent out, which is interesting because that could really mess with people's plans and stuff like that if the war just automatically gets rescheduled. Obviously, having a failed war is very bad as well, so it's nice to see that this is a backup. You would like to just fix the core of the problem though, rather than think of a solution to a problem that shouldn't happen, but I guess it's better to have the solution as a backup if things go wrong. So whilst a bit weird, okay, I accept. Good. Fixed an issue that caused Outpost Rush items to not auto-equip to empty slots on the player's hotbar. My hotbars were generally always full, but if you ever buy any of the food or anything like that, it's supposed to go onto your bar automatically. Sometimes I've bought some food, had a space on my slot, been looking in my bags, not been able to find it, and then it was like, oh, it's actually popped out on the hotbar there and I just didn't realize and I look like an idiot. But okay, good. Fixed a bug that prevents players from queuing for arenas because the queue screen said waiting for players. I've not been doing arenas personally very much, so I've not really seen this, but these are the kind of things that, yeah, they just have to have tidied up and as soon as possible, please. Fixed a bug that caused players to lose any progress made during the session after logging off. I have no idea what they're talking about with this one. That caused players to lose any progression made during the current session after logging off. So were people logging in, playing for a whole session, maybe leveling up their character and stuff like that, and then the game not remembering that they had done that? That's weird. I have not seen that personally, but that is obviously a massive issue that I'm surprised it's taken them this long to mention this and to put this in some patch notes, but okay, there you have it. Hopefully that's fixed if any of you guys were actually experiencing that. Always nice to see this next one. Made general technical improvements to the group finder feature to improve reliability. It was delayed for a while because of reliability, so the fact that they've launched it now and they're just going to tweak it and it's not like crashing everything, I think this is probably the way you would expect things to go, so don't be concerned that you're seeing this, be happy that it's there. Fixed a bug that allowed players to endlessly spam abilities. Nobody told me about that one. I could have been in Outpost Rush actually smashing people with that one. No, I haven't actually seen that before. Yeah, but again, you know, it is what it is. And then finally, the one that we said at the start, Instance Wars have been reactivated. Hopefully you war players will actually have good times, and then hopefully you'll have all your gold ruined because you won't just be owning Everfall and Windswood at some point and being rich as anything. But this is a good start. Now this next one is stupid, but it's been really bugging me. I just absolutely have hated it, and I'm surprised it's taken this long. And it's fixed an issue that caused the available column in the trading post to incorrectly display the amount owned instead of showing the amount available to buy. Yeah, like when you click something, you don't know how many of that like item there are because it just shows like 1 or 2 or however many you have. You can't see how many you're actually trying to buy. So maybe you want to buy 500 of something, but it turns out the person you're trying to buy from only has 1 and you're like, well, I wouldn't have clicked that and wasted my time. I would have just bought the one where I could buy the 500. Yeah, it's been an absolute pain and I'm glad they fixed it. A little bit sad it's taken so long, but you know, that was one that was really annoying me. Group Finder, the view expedition button in the expedition map flyout now reads find group in order to improve the group finder's ease of use. Basically, you had to view the expedition and then sort of like create a group. I think they're just making this a little bit easier for people to find where it is and to find how to access it and use it. They really need to get rid of these musical performance UIs or like tone them down. It's very annoying to see like white circles everywhere and I was gonna say 5 stars, you never get 5 stars, like 3 stars, 4-star performances all the time. I don't know, maybe you can turn that off. I wish you could. But this next bit is that musical performance UI no longer remains after players go into an expedition. Fine, great. It shouldn't exist almost anywhere, I think. I don't know, I'd like the whole experience to be a bit smaller and a little bit less obtrusive, if that makes sense. In the localization, so this is generally to do with languages, group finder error messages are now fully localized. Great, means that whatever language you're playing in, you should be able to understand it. And the perks with outdated descriptions now have the correct localization for Polish and Italian. Good, fine. I don't speak those languages, so not personally going to affect me, obviously, but those are kind of like polish that you really need in games. Obviously, the ones that were like game-breaking bugs are very important. I'm glad they've solved those. On a personal note, I really like the fact the wars are going back to instance. Not something I do, but it's nice to know that if I ever go into wars again, then I'm probably going to have a better experience. This rescheduling of the war is very interesting because it's like, why are the invites not going out in the first place? I find that one intriguing, if you know what I mean. And then, as I said, on a personal note, the available column being fixed. Oh, finally, like I really needed that in my life. It was bugging the hell out of me. So that's the patch 1.6.5. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I know that there are some like more people playing this game than normal at the moment, and I know that a lot of servers are full. Hopefully we can see some movement with that quite quickly, because that is becoming a bit of a pain point for me and a lot of you guys. Other than that, that's the patch. If you want to support the channel, do consider becoming a YouTube member. Other than that, have a most beautiful day. Like and subscribe. Goodbye. Sorry if I seem a little bit tired in this video. I've been to like a zoo all day and I'm actually quite knackered.